Hello again, everyone. My name is Michael, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Michael.
But I don't know if I'm really an alcoholic.
You can't just cut down on your drinking, Randy. You need to know something. You have a disease.
A disease?
That's right. Alcoholism is a disease. You're sick, Randy. You're very, very sick. And just like with most diseases, you can't cure it yourself. And it's deadly.
Oh my God.
Dad, what the hell are you doing?
Hello, Stan.
Dad, it's the middle of the day. I thought you weren't going to drink as much anymore.
No, Stan, you don't understand. I have a disease. Daddy's very sick.
What? Did you go to your AA meeting?
Yes, they're the ones that told me. I thought I could just quit drinking on my own, but it's an illness, son. I have to admit that I'm powerless to this terrible disease.
Oh, God damn it.
Stan, I need your help.
Dad, what are you doing in Grandpa's extra wheelchair?
I've got to try to take it easy from now on, son. Get Daddy another beer, will you?
No, you don't need another beer.
I know that! But this disease is just eating me up! I hate my illness! I wish it was that simple, son. But if I don't give myself up to a higher power, then this disease is gonna kill me dead. I'm afraid the only thing that will cure me is a miracle.
There's a debate going on that you have probably heard before, and it asks, is addiction a disease or is it a choice? Before I answer this question from the perspective of someone who has been on almost every drug known to man for 16 years, here's a trigger warning. This one gets people riled up, so if you are the uber-sensitive type, maybe just sit this one out. It's probably the most polarizing topic I will discuss. So if you're one of those kinds of people who are set in their ways, refusing to change their mind regardless of the evidence, maybe just click another video. I don't want to fight or upset anyone, but at the same time, I'm not going to remain silent just because a few people can't handle a few truths. So without further ado, let's put to rest this debate. First off, let's understand what we are talking about here. I will be honest, when I looked up this definition, it surprised me, and is actually what inspired this video. Prior to today, apparently, I wasn't aware of what a disease was. A disorder of structure or function in a human that has a known cause and a distinctive group of symptoms, signs, or anatomical changes. And what is a choice? An act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. Alright, now that we have that out of the way, is addiction a disease or a choice? Think about it for a minute. I'll wait. Do you have your answer? Please leave it in a comment below. And don't forget your reasons why. Well, based on those two definitions, it's almost impossible to argue that addiction is not a disease. Symptoms, signs, anatomical changes, addiction is a disease. Debate over. I thought it was going to be a little harder than this to decide. Okay, so then addiction couldn't be a choice then, could it? The question clearly states disease or choice. The end. Debate over. But wait. If a choice is the act of making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities, seems to me that there aren't many things in the world that do not fit that definition, including addiction. Let's see. Do drugs or not to do drugs? Wait a minute. That sounds to me like addiction also fits the definition of a choice. I could go get methadone and start my recovery, or I could choose to go buy fentanyl and risk ODing. I could go to rehab or detox, or I could just continue using drugs. Seems to me I have a lot of choices. But John, you didn't choose to be addicted. Did you? No one chooses to be addicted, but continuing an addiction is a choice. Every day. I would not say it is the right choice, but it's a choice nonetheless. Why am I being so firm about this? I'm trying to empower addicts to understand that they are not debilitated by a chronic disease. I do have a problem with the term chronic disease. If this was true, 80% of addicts wouldn't opt to up and quit at some point in their life. So, in fact, yes, addiction is a choice as well. We make hard choices every day. We sometimes feel like we have no choice, but ultimately, even someone with a gun to their head has options: do as instructed, get shot, or call their bluff. I get it. Blaming the addict for poor self-control is not going to help anything, and you are also right. While no one would choose to become addicted, they made the choice to use, which they knew led to addiction. And even if they were naive enough to think daily drug use would not cause addiction, the fact that their compulsive behavior led to an addiction doesn't nullify the fact that they chose to use drugs every day. You can still make choices and wind up with diseases. In fact, I would argue a lot of diseases are a result of poor choices. Addiction is a result of the choice to use drugs. If it makes you feel better to say addiction wasn't your loved one's choice, feel free. But in the end, you are doing them more harm than good. If you had to choose between stage 4 cancer or a cocaine addiction, what would your choice be? Really, I would like to know, what would you choose? Please comment below. I know I would choose the cocaine addiction. And why? Because 99% of users of cocaine will quit in 6 years or less. How many cancer patients do you know that decided to quit cancer when they hit rock bottom? Now, once the person is addicted, it feels like less of a choice, but you stand a far better chance of quitting if you believe you have a choice, rather than if you believe that you are sick.
Dad, you've had enough. Just stop now.
I can't! I'm sick!
So to recap, the debate between addiction being a disease or a choice is faulty from the get-go. They aren't mutually exclusive, and the debate is doing far more harm than good, as in most debates. So by definition, addiction is a disease, but is also a choice. Let's stop arguing. And don't miss my last video, what to do in case of an OD. It could save your child's life. Thanks for watching, and make sure to check out our next video.